Hello people who cannot sit at home. Today is a very exciting video. We are at the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Let's go. So the Space Center is truly world level and truly out of this world in my opinion. Currently known as Kennedy Space Center, but originally this was known as the NASA Launch Operations Center. And it has been operational since 1968. I think for me that is exactly what differentiates Kennedy Space Center from all the other museums, is that this is an actual space center that has been functioning and is still functioning. And at the end of this video, stay tuned, I'm gonna show you 4 really cool tips where you can go after you visit this center. What we actually did is we stayed over in the area and attended few more really cool experiences. So the location of Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex is on Merritt Island, which is about an hour east if you drive from Orlando. So first, of course, it's best to pre-book the tickets online, and over here we are entering. Not a lot of people, the lineup wasn't that big because we were fairly early over here, and right off the bat you see the Rocket Garden. There are tours that go, I feel like they're every 20 minutes, I could be wrong, and the tour was great. It was also about 20 minutes. It was all about the rockets that are in this garden. Turns out most of them were operational. I think only one of them is replica, which is really cool. Over here you can also try out and, squeeze inside one of those capsules and see how they felt when, leaving. It's not a lot of space in there. Very, very interesting. And then next we headed for the Atlantis complex. So first it started with a bit of a presentation showing a bit of a history.
We need a better safety margin. The crew can tolerate a short-term increase, but...
And over here is another kind of area where they have a bunch of screens, and then the gate opens up and it's just the most magical cinematic way of how they presented it. I actually didn't record that. And then you go into it and you are seeing this ginormous, absolutely insane size space shuttle. Over here is that very first mock-up that they created, the prototype. It takes your breath away, it truly does. This was a functional shuttle for a number of years, of course. Over there is the Canada arm, which is really cool, Canada's contribution. As a Canadian, of course, this was really nice to see. So huge. Doesn't even fit into the camera. So over here is some cool information about Atlantis. So it embarked on 33 missions, which I think is really a lot. And the last of its mission was actually in 2011, which is fairly recent. And Atlantis has also orbited the Earth slightly under 5,000 times, which is yet again insane. So here is the engine and its exhaust. So the 3 main engines generated over 37 million horsepower. Wow. So here's the bathroom that was functioning on the shuttle. As I understood, the suction was the main kind of it was one of the things that needed to happen for this to be a productive event. Over here is me testing out the piloting, cabin. I also liked how the center has the new tech, basically. It has the cool screens. It even had these 3D kind of, these guys are doing something. We didn't try doing this, but they're doing something with their hands and you see it on the screen. Some kind of AR, virtual reality technology. Love this. They even had a slide. We actually didn't do it, but it was so much fun. Everybody, kids and adults, were doing that.
But today, the ISS astronauts can dine on lamb with vegetables, chicken with rice, beef and barley. They even have salsa.
And over here was really cool to check out some of the food information and how they even eat in space.
What we got here is a little bit of honey. Let's see how this works. This is how we put it on the tortilla.
Over here is very cool seeing Chris Hadfield making his burrito honey sandwich. And here is, as I understand, their bedroom. I'm guessing you sleep vertically and you have your computer over there. Here are the wheels from the shuttle. It's almost as tall as me. And this exhibit was truly touching. This is called the Forever Remembered exhibit, and it is dedicated to the Challenger and the Columbia Memorial, where 14 astronauts, 7 in each, perished during the crashes of those corresponding spaceships. And in the middle there is a beautiful quote by the President Ronald Reagan: "The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave." And as you turn a corner, you actually get to see the Columbia cockpit windows from the February 1st of the 2003, which is when it crashed. And on the left side we have the Challenger, left side of the body panel. The crash happened on January 28, 1986. So the next stop, we went to the bus tour. So this bus tour takes you to the Apollo Saturn V Center, and it's basically the center that was all about the race to the moon. Over here, I'm actually showing you, if you see behind, there are actually stations, the liftoff places. As I understand, that's what SpaceX uses right now. The lineup wasn't bad because the space that goes in, like there's a lot of space for everybody, so it wasn't a problem. And but they do say that it's best to do this tour actually early in the morning so that you save time on the wait lines. Here was the cool representation of what people went through, what they felt when they launched the spaceship to go to the moon. I actually really enjoyed everything about this, the kind of retro videos, of course the story behind this, and then the seat started to shake as this was happening. And afterwards the doors open and you are entered into this absolute, this is the biggest thing that's humanly made that I have ever seen in my life. The video doesn't do it justice. There is no way to really describe this other than you have to go here. This is the Saturn V. That is the rocket. As I understand, that's the rocket that was part of the, you know, going to the moon race. Over here, we're just going under it. You can, yeah, there's a lot of walking paths. You can look at it from different angles. As I understand, the rocket was a number of parts. So there, I think, 3 parts. I could be wrong, I'm sorry, but just the scale of it is ridiculous. Over here, there are the, you know, the lunar, I don't think they were used. I think this is just like a mock-ups. And over here is another kind of representation of what was it like on the moon. And there were a number of newspapers, and it was really cool to see the newspapers from that date. We took our bus back and we actually, there's a playland kind of area. We peeked in it. It's for the kids, but it's actually amazing for the kids, so highly recommend that. Here is the lunch area. You can buy lunch there. Over here we headed for the Mars building because I actually am fascinated with the Mars and how that's going. So it was cool to see all of the things that they have there. There was actually a lecturer that was talking about what was happening and the development. And actually, that gentleman was the one that mentioned that tonight is going to be a liftoff. So I'm going to show you at the very end of the video the liftoff. The SpaceX was actually doing setting a rocket, which was really cool. And of course, I have to talk about the gift shop. I actually absolutely love the gift shop. I got one of those patches. I got this t-shirt. It has cats, anything with cats in space. Love it. So this was really cool. They also have dogs in space if you're a dog person. Amazing. Love this cup. Should have gotten it actually, but anyway, it's really, really great cup. Love this as well. This is ice cream sandwich. It's freeze dried. I actually got, they also have berries. I got the berries. And over here is the astronaut lady doll. It was very nice to see. Here are some cool mittens, and this is Occupy Mars by SpaceX. Love this. I actually was like, ah, should I get this? And over here is just a t-shirt with SpaceX logo, which is also very cool. Just a quick note, we spent at the Kennedy Space Station 5 hours. That was still not enough to see everything. We did spend a long time in each of the stations. So my tip to you, either go fast or, to be honest, take 2 days here. I know for a fact that there are 2 more places that I wanted to check out, but we simply did not have the time. So here are some tips that I would like to share with you what to do in that area. So we actually spent about 5 hours at Kennedy Space Center. I don't know how we managed not to eat, but we were, I think it's adrenaline and excitement. What I wanted to do is go to Dixie Crossroads, which is not that far. It's about 20 minutes from Kennedy Space Center. It is a great restaurant. I've seen some good reviews about it and I was like, we need to check it out. And they also had a number of signatures of the astronauts. As I understand, it's also one of the favorite places for the astronauts, which is good enough for me. So they had some amazing clam chowder, lobster bisque soup. We started with that. And here's my snow crab and lobster. The prices were about $25 for each of the items. It came with 2 sides. It was actually far too much food that we could manage, but oh my gosh, it was so good. So just kind of breaking everything. It was a lot of work. Get ready to work, but you will be fed, that's for sure. Everything was fresh, the butter was amazing, everything in there we loved. Another cool thing to do is Manatee observation deck. Over here I'm going to show you quickly where it is from the Dixie Crossroads. It's also about 19 minutes. And this is a deck that's open to public. You can check it out. Over here I'm showing you, we are on the kayaks. That's the next tip I'm going to talk to you about. But that's the deck, and you get to see manatees. The water is not clear, so you only see the tops of them or their tail. But I think it's still cool for a free experience. Number 3 tip is a day away kayak tour. This is a company, I'm going to link it down below so that you can check them out. We did their 3-hour tour. So the first part, over here we're kind of heading over there to meet everybody and get into the kayaks. The kayaks are tandem, so my boyfriend is with me in the kayak. But it's totally okay. It's actually, if anything, kind of faster, so you don't get too tired. When we were waiting, actually, there were dolphins kind of jumping in and out. I think I saw 3. I couldn't get it on video because it's hard, but here we are, off we go. So here's that Manatee observation deck, but from the kayak side. What was cool actually specifically with the kayak that this experience offers is that manatees, you're not allowed to touch manatees, but manatees actually can come up to you. So they are very playful, which I found so fascinating. They would come up to our kayak and like slightly nudge the kayak, and we would move a little bit. I found that was so adorable and cute. And I never thought, they're not very aggressive, so don't worry, they're not going to flip your boat. They're not going to try to bite you. They're not like that, but it's very cool. But you're not supposed to touch them. It's actually illegal.
Oh, he's like slowly getting away from us, but not really. He's not that interested in getting away from us.
So over here, we are continuing down our path. Beautiful bird over there. I don't know the name of the bird. Please write it down if you know it. And over here, we're doing the sunset. Headed back, we had these glow sticks. And this part of the tour is all about bioluminescence. I wanted to do this, gosh, for about 10 years. So this is in my very unscientific way, trying to explain this. After it goes dark, after it's fully dark, when you move the water, the algae in the water, it glows with these little specks. When you move your paddle, it also glows and leaves a trail. My camera is just a regular camera. It does not do well when it's that dark, so it didn't actually capture anything, but it was so beautiful. It's one of those, bucket list things for me personally, and I loved it. It was so great. And the 4th tip is check out launches, what other launches of rockets are happening, and I'm going to also link down below the schedule that we were looking at. What's funny is that we actually saw the SpaceX launch over here. I think it's some kind of a satellite launch. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that was that. They actually moved the timing. It was supposed to be at 7, then they moved it to 9, then they moved it to 10, then they moved it to 11. So it's one of those things. Basically, yes, check it out. See if your trip falls, if the day that you're there, maybe it falls on a launch. It is fascinating to see. Though keep in mind, a lot of times it does get rescheduled. So if you're lucky enough, like we were, which was amazing, you get to check it out.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. It's an amazing place. You have to check it out. Subscribe, like, and share if you enjoy my videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.